The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back again and back into it. You found The Local Show on 570 WSYR, the pre-all the holidays show.
Do we have to sing the pre-holiday songs?
Pre-holidays.
Hey, those songs come on pretty soon.
Good golly. Can you believe that it's November, George?
I cannot. That happened fast.
Good. I mean, I had such a busy wedding season here in the fall that when I get, in that mode that every weekend I'm out at a different venue, then I turn around. We played our last wedding reception last week, and then you go, oh my goodness, there's life happening. There's actually other things going on.
Things other than weddings?
Yes. So then I looked around and I said, oh my gosh, it's going to be November.
I take my hat off to you. To go to that many weddings would just drive me batty.
And that's why I'm the way I am.
You are batty, huh?
I am batty. We've been talking with Dave Wilbert. He's the owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training, something that I suggest everyone who has a dog goes and talks to Dave Wilbert, because if you don't, they will rule your life. These dogs will rule your life. So we got the puppy. We were on the topic of me getting this puppy, which is now probably 8 months old. And Luna, being a healer, they like to herd you, whether you're a human or another dog or whatever. So they go right for your heels. And it's not that they're not loving, but they have razor sharp teeth.
Yeah, especially as puppies.
Yeah, especially as these puppies. And one of the things we were talking about was letting the dog sleep in your bed. And the other thing too is commands. I have not. This dog at 8 months does not know what up or go means yet. So like, or down. So like when I'm getting her food ready, she will go up on the counters, and she's got very tall, very fast. So she'll put her paws up there. I'll say, down. She doesn't know down.
She looks at you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. Or if I say, we're going to go upstairs, come on, we're going up. She doesn't get it. So I said to my wife, I don't know how to do that. How do you make a dog understand those commands, down and up and come?
Yeah, so one thing to think of is they don't know English, right?
Funny that way.
Damn it.
So a lot of commands when we're teaching dogs commands initially is body language and guidance, right? And so sometimes that's with a leash, sometimes that's maybe luring them with like a
treat
food or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But you can say whatever command all you want, but if they don't actually understand what that means, they're not going to do it.
Yes.
So realistically, verbal is kind of the last thing that we teach dogs.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you think about dogs, not with humans, but dogs, they function a lot off from touch. Right? What do they do? They nuzzle each other, or they'll bump into each other. Right.
Point.
And so touch is kind of one of the first things that they understand. And so body language and touch are going to be your biggest friends, essentially. And then once the dog understands that, then I'll start to label it. A great example of this is we have people come in all the time, and the dogs are dragging them in the parking lot, dragging them through the door.
Yes,
and I
hate that.
Right? Oh. And I hear the owners yelling, heel.
Yeah.
Well, the dog doesn't understand what that is, right? So now they go, I guess pulling on a leash is heel.
Right. How do you teach? Do you teach all that?
Oh, for sure.
And can you? Is there any dog that's untrainable?
No. I will say this: there are genetically aggressive dogs. That does happen, right?
Would make sense.
It's such a small percentage, right?
Okay.
Of even the aggression. We take on a lot of aggressive dogs, and overwhelming majority of them, it's a learned behavior. It's a fear-based response, right? And so it's very, very small percentage of genetically aggressive. And so when you say, is there any dog untrainable? I always tell people, like, when you're talking about aggression in particular, best case is change, worst case is control, right? So can I change the behavior, or am I managing and controlling it? Well, if it's a genetically aggressive dog, I can't rewire the dog, right? And so now you're
Yes.
talking about just a management situation. And so for some families can handle that, not all. But as far as like normal behavioral stuff, yeah, every dog's trainable.
So Steve Roberts would tell you that I have a stream of estrogen that runs through me because
You're a wuss, is that what they say?
Because I watch the Hallmark Channel and I like to watch all the goofy, corny movies, right? Yeah. And one of the things in the Hallmark movies they'll show is people getting gifts for Christmas, and there'll be puppies.
Oh,
you know,
sounds
and
like
under
fun.
the tree, you open it up, and it's all fun and coochie fachi until you have to start training this puppy that comes out of a box or something. Do you find that a lot of people have like buyer's regret during the holiday season?
For sure.
Puppies?
For sure. You know, right after the holidays, it's usually February time.
Yeah.
You know, rescues and shelters just get flooded with them because the novelty of the puppy has worn off.
Right.
Puppies are tough.
And it's eating the furniture and eating the underwear.
Yep. And so if it's a family, you know, say it's a mom and dad and they're like, hey, we're going to surprise the kids, right? That's one story. That's one situation. And obviously both parents are probably on board with that. Mm-hmm. Giving somebody a puppy for a gift, I don't think is necessarily the best idea, you know, if they're not prepared for that, you know, if they're not really expecting that.
Now, if they get this gift,
yeah,
and most of us have no idea how to train a dog.
Sure.
Like I said, it was kind of funny is that they don't understand English.
Right.
Why aren't you doing that? I have no idea what you're saying. Is there a way that they can? I mean, people have busy lives. You know, everybody's working, kids going to school. How can they address some of these things through you?
Yeah. So first, we start with a free consultation, and so owners bring their dogs in. We get to meet not only the owners but the dogs as well, and kind of put together a game plan based on their goals. But our most popular program that we offer is what's called our day train program. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is the dogs get dropped off in the morning, we train the dog throughout the day, and then the owners come back at the end of the day, pick the dog up, and go through a lesson with us. And so we're doing, we'll call it the heavy lifting, right? Okay. We're doing all the heavy lifting, and then the owners are coming in to reinforce those things.
And it really works because don't you need to be there as the owner? Or will the dog listen to the owner and only listen to you? Or
so one of the biggest advantages for us is I have 6 trainers right now, and so we purposefully rotate through dogs, meaning it's not one person training the dog all day long.
I see. Yeah.
And so
the
what
dog
happens?
Gets used to
you got a few different people, and ultimately, in a family situation, we want that. We want the dog to listen to everybody in the house, not just dad, right?
Right.
And so when they're getting trained by multiple people throughout the day, it really helps transition that over to the owners.
That sounds like a great plan.
Yeah.
Train the dogs and train the owners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's one program. What other types of programs do you have?
Yeah, we do offer just private lesson programs where, you know, the owners are involved every step of the way. A lot of times those are for, I'll call it minor issues. So if somebody comes in and says, hey, my dog just jumps on people and we'd like to solve that. So that's definitely an option. And then we offer group classes as well. Nobody for us, though, can start in group. So everybody graduates in. And we want to know that the dogs and the owners have a certain level of control of their dog before we're putting into a big group.
So you kind of start with a private lesson and then move to the group.
Yeah, and especially puppies. That's really important. Puppies, we always start out one-on-one private lessons. I have tried puppy group classes before. Yeah. It's chaos.
Free for all.
Yeah, it's chaos. You know, send a bunch of kindergartners into calculus. That's what you get.
That's good.
Well, that is wonderful to know that you're out there. And you've been in business how long now?
2012. So what are we in? Our 13th year?
Yeah, great. Well, that's wonderful. Dave Wilbert right there and his crew at Sit Means Sit Dog Training, and they're over in Cicero, right across, I could say right across from Drivers Village, really.
Yep.
Yeah. Ollie's is in the same thing, and Get Air and all that. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for joining us.